Every relationship hides a story, and every story carries pain. Welcome to Cheating Stories Insights, where truth bleeds through words. The hum of the MRI machine was steady, mechanical. I lay still, my head clamped, the ceiling just inches above me. I had grown used to headaches over the years, the kind that pressed from the inside, dull but constant, like something alive was trying to crawl out. But when the machine clicked and the scan began, I noticed the shift, not in me, in him. Through the small window, I saw the doctor's face. His eyes narrowed, his lips parted. His body leaned closer to the monitor as if the image had pulled him forward. Then came the words I wasn't supposed to hear. "What is this doing here?" Cold swept through me. My chest tightened. I couldn't ask, couldn't speak. The only thing I could do was stare at his expression, and know deep down that something about my life was about to fracture. At first, he avoided specifics. Doctors like to soften blows with vagueness. "We'll need to run some additional tests. There are abnormalities. It might be nothing." But nothing doesn't change a man's face like that. When the images finally appeared on the lightboard, I felt the world tilt. There it was, inside my skull, something foreign. Not just a mass, not a tumor. No, it was structured, symmetrical, metallic, like it had been placed there, not grown. The room shrank around me, my breath slowed. I had no memory of surgeries, no accidents, no explanations. Yet here it was, a secret lodged inside my body, a secret I had carried unknowingly for years. And suddenly, every headache, every flicker of dizziness, every strange lapse of time, they weren't random, they were signals. I didn't confront anyone, not yet. Instead, I pretended to accept the doctor's rehearsed lines, nodded when he spoke of specialists, smiled faintly when he offered referrals. But inside, questions sharpened into blades. Who put it there? Why me? And how had no one told me? I started small, records from my childhood, hospital files, birth certificates. Each paper another layer I peeled back. Most of it was ordinary, too ordinary. But when? A gap. The first 2 years of my life were blurry, undocumented. The file jumped from birth directly to toddlerhood, as if someone had cut out the beginning. And in that absence, a shadow formed. My parents. They had always been secretive, quick to change subjects when I asked about the past. Now I replayed their answers in my mind, hearing the cracks I'd ignored before. "Your first years were difficult. You were sick a lot back then. We almost lost you once." Almost lost me? Or almost replaced me? Days turned into weeks. My silence became my weapon. I smiled when they visited, shared meals, played the role of dutiful child. But my mind recorded everything. Their glances at each other when I rubbed my temple, the way their voices dropped whenever hospital came up, and then, finally, the slip. I found it in the attic, buried in a box labeled donations. Old papers, outdated photos, forgotten but not erased. One folder, stamped confidential. Inside, a report. Date, 2 months after my birth. Procedure, experimental implant. Reason, neurological stabilization. And at the bottom, 2 signatures. My parents. They hadn't protected me. They had signed me away. I waited until the house was full, a family dinner. My parents, my sister, her husband. Laughter around the table, glasses clinking, roast chicken steaming between us. I let it build. Let them believe everything was normal. Then I placed the folder on the table. Read it. Forks paused. Smiles faltered. My mother's hand shook as she opened the file. Her eyes darted across the words. Her lips trembled. My father stiffened, face drained of color. "What have you done?" he whispered. I leaned back, calm, detached. "What you did," I said coldly. I just uncovered. The silence was brutal. The truth spilled from the paper like poison. Their betrayal hung in the air, undeniable, irreversible. My sister stared, horrified. My mother stammered excuses. You wouldn't have survived. But I cut him off. I didn't survive. Not the way you think. Whatever's in me, it isn't mine. It's yours. Your choice, your lie. I didn't scream, I didn't rage. I simply stood, collected the folder, and left them in their silence. Because true punishment isn't fury, it's exposure. They would live every day knowing their son wasn't theirs anymore. Not really. They had built me into something else, something they couldn't control. Now, the headaches are different. Not pain, not weakness. Signals, reminders. Every throb whispers the same truth. I was never theirs, and I never will be again. Their future no longer includes me, and mine no longer includes them.